CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Brendan Purdy.
Clearly, there are some learning gaps.
Tonight on CTV News, diploma decisions. Students are given two options regarding a large portion of their final grades. Good evening and thanks for joining us. The province has canceled January's diploma exams for grade 12 students, along with the grade 9 provincial achievement tests. It says this way students and teachers can stay focused on learning after losing 3 weeks of classroom time. Diploma exams are worth 30% of a grade 12 student's grade. The other 70 comes from coursework during class. The province already made diploma exams in November optional. Some were also worried students would struggle to catch up in time for January's diplomas.
Given the disruption, clearly there are some learning gaps, so there's going to have to be some adjustments made. Every moment is precious. We need to minimize disruptions, and we need to really clearly focus on that learning.
This change was made late this afternoon after the province mistakenly posted the news on its website yesterday. The president of the Alberta Teacher Union says that created unnecessary stress.
To put something out like that and then to take it down is just causing confusion amongst parents and students and teachers. They don't know what's going on.
The Education Minister's press secretary tells us there was a back-end glitch and the website was prematurely changed. The province says if a student wants to write any of the January diplomas, they can in April or June. Those who don't will receive their school-awarded mark as their final official course mark. Their transcripts will include a notation which will ensure students can graduate and transition into post-secondary without impact. The Edmonton Public School Board of Trustees has a new board chair. Sadiq Sumar was voted in as the next board chair, defeating incumbent Julie Cusick. Sumar is one of 4 returning trustees with 5 new faces on the 9-person board. The board will also have a new vice chair as newcomer Linda Lindsay beat out incumbent Jan Sawyer. The province says payments are going out to parents whose children were affected by the teachers' strike. Parents who signed up on or before Monday began receiving e-transfers as of today. The financial assistance is retroactive to October 6th. That's when the strike began. Caregivers will get $30 for every missed day of school. Payments will be sent out to the email address connected to your alberta.ca account. Only 1 parent per child is eligible. More changes appear to be coming for infill housing under our new city council. The previous group made some adjustments in one of its final major decisions of term, but some councillors say it's time for further action on what they heard from Edmontonians during the election campaign. CTV's Jeremy Thompson has the details.
New infill 8-plexes are going up on corner lots and mid-block in West Edmonton.
We've heard enough. Knocking on the doors, it was fresh in our faces. People spoke, and we have to listen to the people.
New councillor Mike Elliott believes most Edmontonians understand why more housing is needed, but he says they also recognize what isn't working.
Walking down the street or as a citizen driving down the road, and if it catches your attention and you go, what the heck is that? Well, that tells you something right there.
After a multi-day public hearing in July, the previous council made some adjustments to infill rules. Moving forward, buildings have to be smaller with fewer side entrances and appear more like a house from the street. But that council maintained the maximum unit count at 8.
The process felt pretty chaotic for all parties, and that kind of destabilization creates a lot of emotional churn as well as fear, both within community and within the marketplace.
Kaylin Anderson attended that hearing representing industry. She says developers are adapting to the new rules and expect more changes in the months and years to come.
This new mayor and council can really lean into providing clarity that will give industry the confidence that it needs to adjust over time.
City staff are preparing a report analyzing the impact of dropping the maximum to 6 units due in early 2027. But Councillor Ashley Salvador says council could make changes much sooner than that. It will also consider adding enforcement officers and stiffer penalties for developers during upcoming budget talks.
If they are not getting the right permits, if they're causing damage to adjacent properties and, not having protections in place as they should and are continuing to do so. So those repeat offenders, that's where we really need to crack down.
Like new Mayor Andrew Knack, Salvador supports a 6-unit maximum mid-block. She's also hopeful the next iteration of Infill under last summer's rule changes will be a better fit for neighborhoods. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Edmonton police believe 4 fires in south central Edmonton over the last 2 weeks were intentionally set. On Wednesday night, a home under construction in Belgravia was damaged by a fire. Before that, on Sunday night, a construction site in the same neighborhood also went up in flames. There was also a fire in King Edward Park in mid-October and a fire in Strathcona just a few days later. EPS says officers are increasing patrols in those neighborhoods. It's also asking people in those areas to check security footage for suspicious activity between 10 p.m. and 1 a.m. on the night of the fires, especially people living around construction or infill sites. Talks are underway with Indigenous groups to gain support for a pipeline to BC's coast. The Alberta government is leading the application to send more crude to the west and off to market. As CTV's Jordan Canagan reports, First Nation groups seem to be split on whether to embrace this provincial pitch.
Alberta's premier calls a pipeline west a once-in-a-generation opportunity, and now the province is seeking support from First Nations along a potential route.
When you're looking at the scales, metaphorically, that the support scale is actually a little bit heavier than anybody could have anticipated.
Alberta announced earlier this month it would spearhead the initial work for a proposed pipeline to BC's northwest coast. It's teaming up with private partners to suggest a route and figure out cost, also part of the plan, Indigenous engagement and co-ownership of a possible project.
Well, it means prosperity. It means seat on the board. It means being able to control a major project like this and have input and influence.
But there is also strong opposition. The Coastal First Nations group, where a possible pipeline could go through, says it's a firm no. We must inform Premier Smith once again that there is no support from Coastal First Nations for a pipeline and oil tankers project in our coastal waters, reads a statement.
Well, many of the groups that are against the pipeline haven't talked to the proponents, haven't informed themselves properly or enough regarding, pipeline safety, integrity, environmental protection, and so forth.
The proposed line could send 1 million barrels of Alberta bitumen west and then off to international markets. Alberta's Indigenous Relations Minister has visited with 5 communities so far and talked to a dozen more on the phone. More trips are planned next month.
I think the encouraging thing to focus on is that there's not outright opposition unanimously. There is support because communities are seeing, like Haisla First Nation, for example, they're involved in Cedar LNG. There is an understanding that these kinds of resource projects bring significant benefit.
Jordan Canagan, CTV News, Calgary.
The Edmonton Oilers head coach says one of his top defensemen is frustrated with the way that he's been playing. Chris Knobloch saying despite some struggles, he's confident that Evan Bouchard will bounce back.
Right now, he's feeling it, not having as much confidence as he usually does. And so I think it's just about simplifying, making his play a little bit quicker, faster, moving his feet.
Bouchard was on the ice for 3 of the 4 Ranger goals against the Oilers last night. Knobloch says he wants his team to move on from this loss as quickly as possible. The Oilers wrap up a 3-game homestand against the Chicago Blackhawks tomorrow night. An auto body apprentice at NAIT is preparing for what's known as the Olympics of Trades. It's the first time the school has been represented on the world stage for car painting by a female student. CTV's Amanda Anderson has her story.
Even when there's no class scheduled and the NAIT Auto Body Shop empty, you'll find Annika Jones honing her skills.
Sometimes you're just good at it, but it also does take quite a bit of practice.
The third-year apprentice has laser focus as she practices masking a car hood for a paint job.
I really liked cars growing up, and my family kind of liked cars, but no one ever really went to work on them.
The number of women taking the auto body program has increased substantially over the years, but Jones is NAIT's first female student, considered one of the best in the country after the Skills Canada competition.
It's a trade competition, so for all the trades, but for me it would just be I would prep something, I would paint something, maybe a little decorative aspect.
Now she's training to compete in car painting at World Skills.
Kind of like trade Olympics, like all the trades going at it, competing, seeing who's the best.
It just so happens the expert and trainer assigned to work with Jones from World Skills is her instructor and mentor.
That hard work and dedication is what it takes to be at the top of your game of the world. You're going to start from the bottom here.
The skills required for the competition change each year, competitors only getting a few hints on what to practice.
Very critical to have her practice these different tasks that she could face. Everything has to be at the highest level, and so that's what we're working on.
Buckmeyer says just getting to that level opens up so many doors for her young student.
I've had past World Skills competitors get job hunted from across different countries, and so the opportunities that will open for her are uncomparable to anything that you would just get here in Canada.
In a male-dominated field, Jones hopes her accomplishments will help inspire other women.
There's been hard times, but there are the people that really support women getting into the trades, and you just need to find those people.
The World Skills competition will take place in China next September. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Winter weather isn't quite here just yet, but the city of Edmonton is starting its snow and ice control program for the season. The city says service levels will stay the same as previous years. It'll focus on doing a better job of communicating important information about snow clearing operations. The city says it will aim to provide real-time data with accurate information on service timelines.
The online maps have the most up-to-date detailed information about the parking bans. Additionally, we really encourage residents to sign up for the notifications as we consistently improve and update our notification system. Residents can add 5 addresses, so that can be your home, your work, places you normally travel, so that you can get information to your phones or email directly about the bans in your area.
Failing to move your vehicle during a parking ban could result in a $250 ticket or a tow. The city says it issued more than 2,200 tickets during parking bans last snow season. Well, we spend most of the year avoiding it, but on the spookiest night of the year, some people chase fear. CTV's Terry Fikowski explores why we all enjoy a good scare.
Sinister scenes lining the streets.
It's too late to hide.
Homes transformed into haunted horrors. It's all meant to cause a spook. And for many, that's the whole point.
It's Halloween. To me, it's meant to be scary.
It gives a thrill. Freaky, right?
You know, you get screams and, I don't know, it just brings me joy.
From classic thrillers like It, or jump scares on Friday the 13th, people want a living nightmare. And it turns out there's a real reason why.
We know how to kill a vampire. We know how to stop a werewolf. It's much more terrifying to think that we can't afford the food that we need to live.
Alex Bierman says our fascination with fear comes down to control, or at least the illusion of it. A safe shock is fun because while the screams are real, the threat is not.
Scary movies, scary books, they give us a sense to feel the sense of powerlessness, while at the same time knowing that really we aren't powerless. This is a temporary condition that's not real.
So what about those who are doing the scaring, who like to dress up and give others a fright? This is scary, right?
I really just like the thrill of the people running and screaming, honestly.
The Shrieker has turned this Calgary garage into a haunted maze for a 5th year and says the crowds just keep growing.
A lot of jump scares, a lot of live actors this year. Definitely the scariest year I've ever done.
Proving that a little fright is a lot of fun once you navigate out of the darkness and survive the scare. Terry Fikowski, CTV News, Calgary.
Just ahead, rental unit ruins. It's the final of our 4-part series on rental units.
Besides stepping in poop when you came in, the smell would hit you.
Good evening. Not a bad way to finish off October. We saw a high today of 8 degrees in the city, a touch warmer towards the south. Lethbridge, 14 degrees. We will see a few showers tomorrow afternoon, but then it clears up quite nicely. Your full forecast coming up.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
From all of us here at Your Morning, we hope your Halloween weekend is a work of art and full of fun.
We'll be back on Monday to get your new week started on the right foot. See you at 6.
Your Morning Edmonton, weekdays.
An Edmonton area family finally feels like their house is back to a home after it was trashed by tenants. They estimate it cost $80,000 just to clean up what was left behind. In the fourth part of our rental series, what they think landlords and anyone thinking of being a landlord should know before deciding to rent out.
So it's my dad and all the neighbors building it.
It's a house the Prince family built and owned nearly 50 years. With their kids grown and their winters spent in the U.S., 5 years ago, Eleanor Prince and her husband decided to sell. They listed the Beaver County property privately and were asked if they'd consider a rent-to-own agreement.
So these people came along with $17,000 and said, okay, we're serious. We want to rent this. And we want to buy it. We will buy it by April the 1st.
She said the couple had kids, were kind, and seemed trustworthy. She says they asked for the contact of their last landlord, but the family had a seemingly valid excuse for not providing it.
They seemed so nice. You know, first of all, she comes to the house and she said, you know, I had a dream about this blue house. And because this was blue. And she told me all this sentimental stuff.
Feeling confident, they came to an agreement where a portion of the rent would go to a down payment. Prince and her husband traveled back to Phoenix. About a year later, she said the tenants began falling behind on their payments. Prince's adult children then decided to check up on the home.
These floors are covered in dog poop. Besides stepping in poop when you came in, the smell would hit you. And it was like a mixture between the dog poo that was all over the floor and cat. And it was just horrible. Right here, this whole wall was just urine soaked.
Colleen McGale says her childhood home resembled a puppy mill, with kennels and dog runs littering the basement and shop. She says feces from different animals, including horses, was scattered across the property. And a dead cat was in the hot tub.
He's like, oh, and that's our dead cat in there. The dogs killed it, so we just tossed it in there. And I was like, oh. We don't know how long it had been there, but it was still there when we took possession of the property again.
When we heard about all the damages they'd done, though, that just broke our hearts. My husband especially, because he put so much effort into this house.
So that's all horse poop in the driveway.
McGale returned with eviction notices she taped on all the doors. She says the tenants were given 14 days to leave, and they left in 20.
They took all the shower heads. They took the kitchen faucet. They took all the appliances except for the fridge. They took the hot water tank. They took light fixtures, like took light bulbs. The light fixtures in the front of the house, like the entry lights, they took those. They took everything that they could take.
She says before the renters, the property was appraised at around $585,000. And afterwards, a realtor said it was worth $200,000 less. The family decided to eat the costs of the damages and items taken to avoid further headache.
That happens a lot. Sometimes the cost of chasing it far exceeds what it's worth.
Donna Monkhouse from the Alberta Residential Landlord Association says while it may seem futile, landlords can go to the Residential Tenancy Dispute Resolution Service for help. The quasi-judicial service settles disputes between landlords and tenants, which can include awarding damages. Another option.
The best thing to do is file in court, so there's a file. So it would get put on Equifax, make sure it gets on Equifax and the credit bureau, so that if they go to buy a house or they go to buy a car, that pops up.
I'll tell you, I won't rent a broom out. I'll give it to somebody, but I won't rent anything ever again.
Prince wishes she'd done more homework on the tenants. The silver lining is her daughter and husband decided to buy the property, clean it, gut it, renovate it, and live there.
It was sad. Yeah. My grandparents lived here. My dad built it. Like, it's just, so now it's the way it's supposed to be. My parents are living here. We're living here. My kids, my grandkids, like, we're all here. And now it's better.
A tale of caution that wraps up our rental series on the complexities that come with both renting and renting out.
After the break, CTV Edmonton spooky season celebrations. We check out some incredible costumes donned by some of our colleagues.
They are drawing inspiration from this right here. Probably can't pull this off last minute.
Programming brought to you by Bucks Auto Parts. Rebuilt, recharged, ready. Learn more at bucksautoparts.com.
Good evening and happy Halloween as we head into this evening. Not too bad at all. Cloudy skies for the trick-or-treaters. Today, not too bad at all either. We saw a high of 8 degrees, well above the seasonal average of 4 degrees. Overnight lows at -5, bang on seasonal. The record set back in 1981 at 19 degrees. The record low at -27 at 1984. Hope nobody was complaining about our 8 degrees today, because last year on Halloween, we saw a high of -0.5 degrees with the overnight lows at -8 degrees. So today, not too bad at all. Overnight, as we head into tomorrow morning, it'll cool down, but not too badly. 1 degree for Coronation, 2 for Red Deer. We'll look at 2 to start off the day for the city of Edmonton. Warmer for Lethbridge and Medicine Hat at 6. -1 for Cold Lake, as well as high level. You're looking at 1 degree for Fort McMurray to start off the day. So we do have a front moving its way in from British Columbia, as you can see, bringing us the cloud coverage, and a line of showers is stretching all the way down towards Calgary. Here's a look at our weather tracker. We are going to see increasing cloud coverage, but a line of snow showers, as you can see here, just along the foothills and the BC border. We'll start off sunny, but then as we head through the afternoon, the clouds roll in, and then we'll see a line of showers stretch all the way into Saskatchewan, across central Alberta, but they won't last very long. Things do clear up quite nicely heading into Sunday. Tomorrow, this is what we can expect for high level. Mostly cloudy skies, 9 degrees. You're looking at mostly sunny skies for Peace River, Grand Prairie, Slave Lake, as well as Fort McMurray. Sunny breaks for White Cork and Lac La Biche. Cold Lake, you'll see mostly cloudy skies with showers for Edson and Vegreville. 10 degrees as a high. Tomorrow for Jasper, periods of rain and 6 degrees. Sunny breaks for Red Deer. Lloydminster, you're looking at a few showers. Flurries transitioning over to showers for Banff with a high of 4. Look at Calgary, though, 14 degrees under mostly cloudy skies, warming up to 19 for Medicine Hat with some sunny breaks. Lethbridge, 17 degrees. It'll feel like spring with under a mix of sun and cloud. For tomorrow, we'll see showers roll in the afternoon. Don't forget to turn your clocks back before you go to bed. Clears up nicely for Sunday. Mostly sunny skies and 9 degrees. 8 for Monday under a mix of sun and cloud. Partly cloudy skies for Tuesday at 6. Back to seasonal temperatures on Wednesday with mostly cloudy skies and sunny breaks. Overnight lows cooling down to -7s. And then heading into next week, Thursday, we'll see overcast skies with some sunny breaks on Friday. Back to seasonal temperatures. A few clouds for Saturday at 5 degrees. We'll start off cloudy on Sunday. Flurries return, move back in the afternoon with a high of 7. They don't last very long. Monday, 4 degrees under mostly cloudy skies, so not too bad at all for the first 10 days of November. Back to you.
Thanks, Ann. Our news team on CTV Your Morning Edmonton really got into the Halloween spirit nearly 24 hours ago now. Their costumes were a real work of art.
Probably can't pull this off last minute.
No, probably not.
This is fantastic. Talk to us about how this came together.
Okay, I did see an inspiration photo. It was from a Halloween parade in New York, right? And they did the Mona Lisa, they did Van Gogh, but I decided maybe let's go a little wild this year.
Warm and sunny. CTV meteorologist Corey Adel was nearly unrecognizable as Vincent Van Gogh. You can totally tell that's our Kim Wynn under the Picasso paint, right? She's the one responsible for both transformations. Her workday started nearly 24 hours ago at midnight to ensure the costumes were picture perfect. This month, our friends on Your Morning have also been asking you to vote on the best Halloween candy. It came down to a nail biter between Kit Kat and Twizzlers, with Kit Kat coming out on top. I was backfilling on the morning show. I was voting hard against the Kit Kat. All right, thank you so much for joining us tonight on CTV Edmonton. We hope you all have a safe and happy Halloween. As always, appreciate you stopping by. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday night, same time, same place. Until then, take care and bye for now.